So the Freedom Journal is really meant to be that guide that's there for you every single day. I like to call it the accountability partner that won't let you fail.
Welcome to Jane Jackson Careers, a podcast that takes your career to the next level. Here's your host, Jane Jackson, author of Amazon Careers bestseller, Navigating Career Crossroads.
Well, hello and welcome back to my Careers podcast, where I interview the most amazing professionals who are leaders in their field. 1 year ago, I interviewed John Lee Dumas about his incredible career journey, and today I welcome John back to talk about his adventures and ventures the past 12 months. Now, John Lee Dumas is the founder and host of EOFire, Entrepreneur on Fire, an award-winning podcast where he interviews today's most successful entrepreneurs 7 days a week. JLD has interviewed over 12,000 entrepreneurs, and EOFire generates over 1 million monthly listens. It was awarded Best of iTunes because of John's commitment to help guide you on your entrepreneurial journey by sharing insights from today's most successful entrepreneurs. His monthly income from his podcasts and training is over $200,000 US. Now, his latest project is the Freedom Journal, a gorgeous leather-bound journal that guides you in accomplishing your number one goal in 100 days. Launched on Kickstarter, it raised over $453,000 US in 33 days and became the 6th most funded publishing project of all time. So let's find out more from John.
Jane, how are you doing today?
I'm very well. So nice to talk to you again, John.
Well, ditto. Great to hear your voice.
Actually, I feel like you've been talking to me the past year because I see you on Snapchat and Instagram stories and all this sort of thing.
Well, thank you for putting up with my rants. I appreciate that.
Honestly, it makes me laugh. And you've got all those shots of you on the beach, and I don't know. You do. I mean, I reckon your whole life is one big party. So.
It is so boring. You would be shocked. Like, I literally will go weeks at some point without even seeing another human being besides Kate. I live the most sheltered, quiet life where I'm in bed at 9, I'm up at 5, and that's it.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. But I'm so thrilled that you've decided to come back on the show again because It's been a whole year. First of all, what have you been up to the past year?
Wow, well, it has been one of those years, Jane. I mean, it's so cliche to say that time flies, but it's just reality. I mean, it literally feels like it was 2 weeks ago that you and I were chatting, and then here we are a year later, back on your show having a conversation, and it's just been a great year. I definitely had fun. I published my first real physical book, did my first Kickstarter campaign, continued to release an episode a day with EOFire. So now we're over 1,400 episodes. I fell in love with Snapchat, which I know you consume, so thank you for that. So I do my daily rants on Snapchat, and I'm just having a blast.
Your daily rants on Snapchat are wonderful, and then not only on Snapchat, but now you've hit Instagram. So the Instagram stories have got you on a daily basis.
JLD has arrived on Instagram stories.
You are absolutely everywhere, and I really like some of the quotes that you have, because whenever you go on a rant, John, and normally you've got a beach in the background with the ocean, and I think, why is he ranting? He's in this lovely place. He should be just sipping a cocktail and relaxing.
Because I want other people to have that.
Yes, I know. Me too. I'm gonna sneak up on you one day somewhere on one of those beach holiday resorts that you go to.
Love it.
Okay, so what has been the most exciting thing for you the past year?
Well, I will say by far it's been the launch of the Freedom Journal. And to give you just a little background, I've now done over 1,400 episodes for my podcast, EOFire. And the biggest question my audience would always ask me is John, what is that one commonality that all of your guests have in common? What is that, that secret sauce? And of course, there's no secret sauce. There's no just silver bullets. It's all about hard work. But there is a commonality that all my guests on EOFire have, and that's that they know how to set and accomplish goals. And, that's just something that a lot of people that struggle as entrepreneurs struggle with. So I kind of sat back and said, how can I make a solution for that? How can I provide the bridge to that big gap in a lot of people's lives? And it took a lot of brainstorming and thinking and researching. And I finally decided, hey, the best way for me to do this is going to be to really get to know what it means to set and accomplish goals. So do a lot of research. And then I wanted to produce something that was real, that you could hold on to, that was a physical, hardcover, gorgeous, something you could be proud of. And it took a long time to, get the content, to source some materials. But on January of 2016, we launched the Freedom Journal on Kickstarter. And it just took off, Jane. In 33 days, we did over $453,000 of revenue, which was over 9,000 journals sold in those 33 days. And actually, to date now, we're already over 14,000 journals that have been sold, which is super exciting on a lot of levels. And it's just been really inspiring to see what can happen now when people actually know and have the tool and the guide to set and accomplish their number one goal in a set time frame, which is 100 days. So that is what the Freedom Journal is. It is your guide. We have daily sprints, nightly recaps, 10-day sprints, quarterly reviews, so that by day 100, you will have accomplished your number one goal in 100 days. Jane, I guarantee it.
And I have no doubt, because I am holding, as we speak,
Yay.
the Freedom Journal. And may I say, it really is beautiful. It's black bound with beautiful gold leaf, and it says the freedom. It almost looks biblical in a way.
Yeah.
It's nice to have something that's so solid, and it kind of looks, just reminiscent of, I don't know, something really traditional and something you'd be really proud of to keep for a long time. And what I love about the book is that at the beginning you actually explain how to use it so well. And you tell us all about, what it's for, and then what the SMART goals are, the SMART, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound goals. Because
nailed it.
Yeah, because if we don't have those, it's more of a dream or a wish. And then we don't actually take action. And I'm honestly one of the major procrastinators, because I'm such a bright, shiny objects person, and I always find something else I would rather be doing. So having a journal like this is great. And you've got this one quote in here, which is Parkinson's law: work expands so as to fill the time available for its completion. So true. So true. And so, when people start with the Freedom Journal and you give them a sample day, and just going through it and having, your 10-day sprints, as you say, in your quarterly reviews, but talk us through how we use the book every day, because I'm looking at it now, but I want to hear it from you.
So the Freedom Journal is really meant to be that guide that's there for you every single day. I like to call it the accountability partner that won't let you fail, because, it's not human. Like humans, to err is human. That's a quote, and that's a reality. I mean, as humans, we're busy, we get distracted, we're all procrastinators. So the Freedom Journal is just meant to be sitting there on your nightstand. So at night, it's, something you see before you go to bed. So you're making sure you're doing your nightly recaps. It's there in the morning when you wake up, on your desk, so you can see it just kind of glowing there with that great, gold embossed lettering, and something that you can just feel proud to throw into your book bag and take to, a coffee shop or to work with you, and to have it there. And people be like, oh my God, what is that? It's you're like, well, I'm actually in the middle of accomplishing my number one goal right now. And oh, tell me about it. And it's really just meant to kind of have that kind of accountability that's there for you. You can't hide it in a folder on your desktop, on your computer. It's not like living in the cloud. It's there, and that's what it's meant to do. So what is the actual guide within? Well, as you mentioned, we really do a great job at the beginning describing what it means to set a SMART goal, which is specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, time-bound. Those are 5 attributes that every goal has to have. And so many people fail because they fail to set a SMART goal. They just say, I want to lose weight. Well, okay, that's specific, but how much weight do you want to lose? Okay, 10 pounds. Okay, that's measurable. Is that attainable? Well, yeah, you've been 10 pounds lighter, so that is an attainable goal. Well, is it relevant? Well, it is relevant because I want more energy. I want to look better. I want to feel better. And is it time bound? Well, with the Freedom Journal, you have 100 days to accomplish that goal, and we make sure you do that. So now you have that SMART goal, and then we just spend the next 100 days making sure that step by step you're getting closer to that accomplishment. So every single day we have daily tasks. every single night we have nightly recaps. And every 10 days, we're doing what's called a 10-day sprint. So you can't just kind of like let everything pile up towards the end. Every 10 days, you need to be getting 10% closer to your goal. So you're setting a micro goal of saying, I want to lose 1 pound this 10-day sprint, which would, if you do that for 10 sprints in a row, that's 10 pounds. So I want to lose 1 pound. This is what I'm going to do over these 10 days to make sure that happens. And you're accomplishing those micro goals every single step of the way. And every 25 days, we do what's called a quarterly review. So at day 25, you're looking back on the previous 25 days and you're saying, hey, what worked? And that's allowing you to amplify the things that worked really well. But just as importantly, you're saying, hey, what didn't work? And you're kind of coming up with the reasons and the struggles as to why that didn't work, moving forward from there. So it's a really step-by-step hand-holding guide so that by day 100, you will have accomplished that number one goal.
Fantastic. Going through the book, every day you start it with a quote. And I'm just looking like here on day 24, you've got to get up every morning with determination if you're going to go to bed with satisfaction, from George Lorimer. And then there are all these sections that you can fill out to keep people on track. And I'm not going to go through every section because just get the book because it's a good one. And then at the end, you've got a recommended resource. Every single page, you've got a recommended resource. And like this one on this, day 24 is listen to the Smart Passive Income blog with Pat Flynn.
Yeah.
Or else you've got, use Hootsuite or use Wunderlist or different things so that anyone, whether you're an entrepreneur or not, you've got different resources. And you can, I don't know, can you hear me flipping through the pages now?
They sound amazing. It's just high quality paper.
Yeah, it is. I really, really love it. And I think I'm partway through. I'm a quarter of the way through. So I haven't got to my 100-day goal just yet. But I'm getting there and I'm getting closer and closer. So I think this, if anyone wants to keep on track with their life or really achieve something that's important to them, it's a great resource. I love it. I'm just so pleased that you wrote it. And now, John, you're such a busy man because you've got obviously EOFire, Entrepreneur on Fire, your podcast. Then you've got Quotes on Fire. Then you've got your free podcast course, and you've got your free webinar course. And then you've got Podcasters Paradise. And combined with that, you've got the Freedom Journal Facebook page, which is special for those people who are actually using the Freedom Journal. How do you fit everything in?
Well, I will say this. Number one, I'm a big believer in batching. So I batch everything. I make sure that, hey, when I'm going to do interviews on other shows, it's going to be 1 day a month, and I'm going to go back to back to back. So, for instance, Jane, you are interview 14 of 15 today. Like right now, it's 3:30 in the afternoon here on the East Coast where I'm at right now, and I've been rocking since 8 a.m. back-to-back interviews. And I just love it. This is something that I love doing, but, I make sure that I rock them all out on one day. So that then allows me other days to focus on other things like writing a book or being involved in my communities or doing Snapchat and email rants and doing all of this stuff. So, every different part of my business has its place. Plus, I've built a team around me. I have 6 full-time virtual assistants. That's 6 people working 40 hours a week for me. I make sure that I allocate their time very wisely. My partner, Kate, in both business and life, she is just that organization, detail-oriented guru that just is able to rock that out. She's got her strengths where I'm weak and I'm strong where she's not so strong. So there's just finding the right partner, it's building the right team, and then really making sure that you're saying yes to things that are meaningful. Because I do love this quote, Jane. When you say yes to something, you're saying no to everything else that you could be doing during that yes. For instance, I've said no to everything else I could be doing right now to talk to you today. But that was a deliberate, intentional decision, and I know it was worth my while.
Oh, that's so lovely. Thank you so much. I'm really pleased. But I may be your second last podcast interview today. You are my very first one because I'm over in Sydney, Australia. It's 5:30 a.m. And so for me to get up at 5 in the morning is really something special. So there you go,
wow.
John.
Well, on your Skype photo, your hair looks amazing. So I'm just going to pretend that's what you look like right now.
You are not seeing the video of me this morning, that's for sure. But yeah, you're so right. It's so important to have a partner. And like you've got Kate, partner in life and in business. Then you've got your team of VAs helping you as well. And I think so many entrepreneurs, when they start out, they try and do it all and end up in overwhelm. And it sounds like you've managed your time very, very well. I've just started using virtual assistants. And certainly when it comes to some of the technical things that are very time consuming, I've had to just let go and let someone else do it, because I notice that a lot of entrepreneurs I talk to, they want to do it all themselves and they just don't know how to let go. So for you, finding a team around you, did you find that challenging?
I did, but I do think there's an important distinction, is that I think it's good to at first do it yourself to learn that thing, because if you don't know how you want it done, if you don't know how to train your own personnel, if you don't know how to outsource the right way, which is, how you want to grow your business, then you become too reliant. And like, what happens if that virtual assistant, doesn't show up that day, or they quit out of nowhere? Like, then you're really in alert. So I do believe that you should know the core aspects of your business yourself. But then as soon as you've got that down pat and you know what you want to do, then bring somebody in to fill those roles, to free up more time so you can do other things.
And now I want to know how you managed to fit in this extra project of yours, the Self-Mastery Journal. I had a look on your website and I thought, what's this? This is new. This is not something I've seen before. And it looks another beautiful picture of a beautiful book called the Self-Mastery Journal. What is it and how is it different from the Freedom Journal?
It's something that I'm really excited about, that I'm really inspired by, because the Freedom Journal, to me, like the success that it had was so exciting to see, that people really got the value of that beautiful, stunning hardcover journal that was just going to be there. Like, I just loved that people bought into that vision and that it's really working for them. And setting your number one goal and then accomplishing that goal in a time-bound period, which, for me is 100 days within the Freedom Journal, that's so valuable. I'm seeing people have so much success from that. But then the reality is, a lot of people are saying, okay, like I've accomplished this big goal and I'm seeing great results. Now what? And that's a great question, because if you're not able to accomplish that big goal and then leverage that accomplishment into being productive, being disciplined, and being focused on a day-to-day basis to continue to grow your business and to go from strength to strength, which is, accomplishing your goal and then actually making that meaningful accomplishment, that is where self-mastery comes in. Because for me, like, I was able to accomplish a massive goal with EOFire, but then it was the day-to-day after I launched the podcast of being productive, disciplined, and focused that took EOFire from that launch to a 7-figure business that we sit on today. So for me, that's what the Self-Mastery Journal is all about. It's about being productive, disciplined, and focused. So the whole tagline of Self-Mastery Journal is master productivity, discipline, and focus in 100 days. So just like the Freedom Journal, it's so key that you have that time-boundedness, that you're working towards something. And my goal is that by day 100, after going through Self-Mastery Journal, you will have mastered productivity, discipline, and focus. And you'll look back and you'll say, I don't even recognize the person that I was on day one as far as it comes to productivity, discipline, and focus. Like, I'm a different person. That's my goal, and that's what I believe it does.
Oh, okay. Because with the Freedom Journal, it's helping people to accomplish their dream in 100 days. And I know you've got this little, the tagline for that, which is direction, focus, and a plan. And so the Self-Mastery Journal is the next step: productivity, discipline, and focus. Yeah.
So the Freedom Journal specifically is accomplish your number one goal in 100 days. Like, it's a very specific one goal in 100 days. And then the Self-Mastery Journal is to build off of that. So now that you've accomplished that goal, this is how you are day to day become more productive, disciplined, and focused.
Mm-hmm. And, it's actually great for entrepreneurs as well, because for someone like myself who, likes really bright, shiny objects, sometimes because I'm so busy with, this sounds really interesting, and I want to try that, and maybe that new marketing technique will work, and John Lee Dumas is on Instagram stories, maybe I should be as well. that it might not be as productive for myself because it's not actually the main focus of my work.
Right.
So what works for some people doesn't always work for others. But to maintain productivity, discipline, and focus, that's I think I'm going to have to get that book as well.
Oh,
so
yeah.
There you go. When is the launch for the Self-Mastery
So I'm looking to
Journal?
launch mid-January of 2017. So this coming January.
Okay, building anticipation. Even
Yeah,
better. Yeah. And so we can find out more about the Self-Mastery Journal on your website at EOFire.com. Is that right?
Yep, and you can just directly go to selfmasteryjournal.com.
Perfect. Now, I want to find out, because this is really interesting, your Kickstarter campaigns. Talk me through your Kickstarter campaigns and how you made them such a success.
So I decided to use Kickstarter to launch the Freedom Journal because I really love transparency, and I wanted to use a third independent party to just show people like, hey, this is how many backers we have. This is how much money that we've generated, because I wanted to show people the success or lack thereof, along the way of this. And I didn't want people to wonder, hey, like, are these real numbers? Like, if John's controlling the back end, like, is he also controlling the numbers? So I wanted to use that independent third party just to be 100% transparent. Plus, one thing that we did with the Freedom Journal that I loved is we partnered with a great charity called Pencils of Promise. And so a percentage of every single sale of the Freedom Journal, to this day, by the way, goes to Pencils of Promise to build schools in developing countries. And so far, over $75,000 has been donated to Pencils of Promise to build schools in developing countries, which is so cool to me. And I just wanted like that aspect to be a part of it. And so, I wanted Pencils of Promise to know, because we had funding goals. And every time we hit a funding goal, I would write another check for $75,000 to Pencils of Promise. Like, that was just a really cool experience that they could just kind of tag along and see and just know that, hey, this is something that John's saying he's going to do, and boom, he gets there, boom, check is written, boom, let's make this happen. So it was a fun platform. It allowed me to do some really cool things and not have to recreate the wheel, because, Kickstarter is already out there. It's already making things happen. People trust it as a source. They know that, hey, if John doesn't come through and give me my book, I have recourse. I can go through Kickstarter for refunds. Of course, we came through and everybody got their book very, very soon after the Kickstarter campaign, actually, because I had pre-printed 20,000 copies of the Freedom Journal. So it was just really cool to see exactly what kind of really support that we could garner from our tribe, and then also within just people who said, hey, like, what is this Freedom Journal thing? Like, I see that it's trending in Kickstarter, and getting some nice feedback and support there as well.
Amazing. And actually, I have no doubt that anything that you set your mind to, you get done, because you set your SMART goals.
Yeah, Jane.
And you let you're very transparent with what you're doing. And I think the enthusiasm is so exciting. And what comes through about you, without a doubt, is your passion. However, the other day I saw there was one post of yours. I thought, oh, this really resonates, because what you say about passion, you said that we should not be thinking, is this the thing that I'm most passionate about in the world to do? Because sometimes people think, oh, we got to find our passion and purpose and follow that. But what you said, and I thought this was really poignant, was to ask ourselves, is this the biggest problem that I think I can solve right now while enjoying the day-to-day work that's involved? And so many people think, oh, here's someone who's so successful. For some reason, they think it must be easy, but it's not, is it? There's a lot of work involved. And then if you enjoy the work, then the passion will evolve. So that's a great saying from you.
Well, thank you. And, God bless you if you have like an amazing passion that you're just fired up about. Like, by all means, go crush it there. But if you're, more like me and you don't necessarily have this incredible passion, maybe you should just find a major problem in the world that you think that you could enjoy solving, and then just go and solve it. And maybe your passion will grow from there, because I wasn't passionate about podcasting, but guess what? I started seeing the success and impact I was having through podcasting. And lo and behold, my passion grew for the medium of podcasting. And that can happen across the board. And the great part is, if your passion doesn't grow from you solving that problem, well, then pull back and find another problem to solve.
Yeah, exactly. And it's great that, each day you inspire people with your rants, John.
Yeah.
Which is so good. And now I know that my time with you is coming up, because you've got one more person to have interview you. So tell us, where can we find you? I know, well, actually, I'll just say it's EOFire.com, and absolutely everything will be there. And we can follow you on Twitter, on Instagram, on Snapchat, absolutely everywhere. And I think if we just do a little Google search, John Lee Dumas, you will be there, won't you?
I'm on Wikipedia. Woo woo.
Oh, Wikipedia as well. Okay, I'm going to go and have a look there. Fantastic. Well, that's so good to chat with you, John. Thank you so much for your time again today, and love the Freedom Journal. It's absolutely amazing, and good luck with everything with the Self-Mastery Journal too. And I hope that it won't be another year before I speak to you again.
Ditto, Jane. Thanks for having me and waking up so early, and I hope you have a phenomenal day.
Thank you. I'm off to have a very strong coffee now.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Today's podcast is brought to you by Audible.com. You can get a free audiobook download and free 30-day trial at audibletrial.com/Jane Jackson Careers. There are over 180,000 book titles to choose, so give it a go and get your free audiobook today from audibletrial.com/Jane Jackson Careers.
You've been listening to Jane Jackson Careers. Sign up to receive regular career advice at janejacksoncoach.com.